This video will help you understand how your healing journey may look like, and it will also help you appreciate where you are today. Hello, my name is Ruchika Garg. I am a psychologist specializing in inner child work. For the last 7 years, I have worked with hundreds of adults across the globe and helped them overcome past trauma and deep emotional pain. Today, we are going to talk about different stages of inner child healing, the understanding of which comes from my own experience of healing my own inner child and my experience of working with clients. The first stage of inner child healing is where you and your problem are one. It's like your problem is a software that's running you, and you are not aware of what's happening. For example, you could be scared of sitting for an interview, and because of that fear, you may not even sit for that interview. You may just avoid doing the entire process. You may avoid applying for jobs at all. You may procrastinate applying for jobs. Now, at this stage, you may not necessarily know that you have a problem. You may just avoid it out of an impulse. And as you avoid, it may just become a pattern until one day you realize that it's become too much, which brings us to the second stage. The second stage is when you realize you have a problem. Now, the minute you are aware that there is a problem, you become separate from the problem. Awareness is what separates you from the issue and makes the subconscious or unconscious problem conscious, which means now you're able to understand that this is what I have been doing for some time. I have been procrastinating my work. I have not been applying to jobs because I'm scared. This is a moment of awareness and it's a milestone. This moment gives you two choices. One choice is to actually acknowledge that there is a problem and to want to do something about it. The second choice is to still avoid it, which is okay if you're too scared. The choice is always yours. And usually people come to the second stage when something happens on the outside that really triggers you and makes you realize that your intense emotional reaction to something is out of proportion and it's a problem. The third step is when you realize that this problem is not what you want to have and nurture in your life. This is when you realize that you might do better resolving the problem. And it sort of feels almost unbearable to imagine continuing your whole life with the problem, because now the problem has created a huge obstacle in your life. It's stopping you from moving forward. You can feel that pull back at the third stage. This is the stage when you really start to see how big this problem is and how much space it's occupying in your life. This is when you might want to pick up a book to understand what's happening with you. You might turn on YouTube and watch some videos just like you're watching this one. You might start talking to friends and family about it. This is the third stage, and it's a very important stage because it decides what you're going to do about it. The fourth stage is when you have done some work, either through self-help or you have been supported by a therapist or some other professionals who are helping you understand how you can empower yourself. The minute you see a little improvement, you start to feel a better sense of control over your life. This is when you realize that you are bigger than your problem, that this problem is a part of your life, but it does not define you. This is a huge stage of empowerment because this makes you realize that if this is one problem that made you feel so deeply uncomfortable, and if you can work towards resolving this, it means other problems in life can be resolved too. This is a beautiful stage where you are slowly going deeper, understanding yourself better. You're making contact with the inner child that's carrying that pain, that hurt. And as a result of which, the inner child starts to trust you more, starts to slowly release that emotional baggage. And because the emotional baggage is gone, you feel less triggered. This is a huge sign of improvement. Stage 5 is when you realize that you are almost free from the problem. Your emotional reactions have come down. You are no longer triggered the way you used to be triggered back then. And eventually, as you keep working on yourself, as you work on the various inner children in you that were contributing to this problem, you start to realize that you were actually not consciously holding on to that problem. It was a problem of the past. The inner child that was hurt was still stuck back there in time with the same emotions. And it was the emotions of the inner child that was come whenever you would be triggered. Now, as you keep working with different inner children, one by one, step by step, your emotional reactions come down, and eventually you come to a point where each and every part of your being feels safe to release that problematic pattern. Going by the same example that we started with, you might start to feel confident applying for job interviews. Now, that's because the reason you were scared of giving the interviews, whatever happened in the past, once you release that and you realize you are today's adult and you have made peace with that inner child, you have accepted yourself for having that experience and you've forgiven yourself for having that problem. That is when you start to feel completely free of the problem. The last stage, which is stage 6, is an additional stage. Stage 6 is when you realize that once you are free of this problem, you are experiencing some positive side effects because you healed that issue. Now, because you worked on your inner child, which means basically you worked on parts of yourself that were carrying some fear, that were carrying some hurt. And imagine it takes a lot of space to keep fear and hurt inside your system, right? Now, when that's gone, you feel you are more present in life. You are more available in life to enjoy the present moment. You experience those random, unexpected happy moments that happen as a result of healing. This stage also shows us that when you heal any problem that you have inside of you, you are rewarded by the ability of being more present in life. So, this was the 6th and the final stage. So, these are the 6 stages of healing. Let me know what stage you are at. It's important to know that no matter at what stage you are in, you learn to love yourself and appreciate yourself. I used to feel that I need to heal more and more. And even in my own journey of healing, I was actually judging myself for not being healed enough. This is something that you could easily avoid by just going back and looking at how much work you've already done. It's important that you appreciate where you are today because no matter where you are there because you are safe and ready to be there. As soon as you feel safer to go forward, you will go forward. You can't push yourself or bully yourself to heal. So learn to appreciate where you are today, no matter at what stage you are in. I hope this helped you understand what are the different stages of inner child healing. I will be making more videos on inner child healing. So if you found this useful, do subscribe and like this video and share it with somebody who might need it. Thank you for watching. Love and gratitude.